Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 of Into the Nexus. I am Garrett Weinzerl, and I am joined, as always, by Willie Dills Gregory and Kyle Ferguson. How you doing tonight, guys?
Good. Ready to talk about this game, which I haven't been able to play for the last 3 days.
You haven't been able to play for the last 3 days?
I have not, yeah. I've been super busy, and it was the worst time not to be able to play.
Right,
all the heroes were free.
Exactly.
I know.
Times were nothing.
Yeah. It was really, really unfortunate timing for me to be really busy, but oh well. I'll get in there after the show.
Good. Because since everything's free, it's like the best time to get in and just kind of screw around.
Oh, man. Oh, I totally missed out. And it ended, right?
No.
Hate Lily or Brightwing, and then you're out of luck because that's everywhere.
Yeah, it's still going until, I guess, I don't know, 12 at some point. I don't know what time zone they're cutting it off tonight, but
okay.
Yeah, it's happening.
And then we resume our regularly scheduled program with another hero rotation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to send out the bat signal after this and get some games going.
Sounds like a plan. I love that that's a thing on Twitter now. It's just like, bat signal!
Yeah.
Heroes, join me!
Oh, I can't wait for custom games, though, because our bat signal is getting more than 5 people at this point.
That is a very good point. But no, I screw custom games because I don't think I'm going to be able to get proper XP or complete daily quests. Well, I know I won't be able to complete daily quests, but we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, that's a big scandal this week.
So this past week, I know I think all three of us saw this and filled it out. A survey popped up into our inboxes for Heroes of the Storm. Did you fill that out, Dills? I know Kyle did.
I did not.
Okay. All right.
Like I said, busy.
Gotcha.
No time for surveys.
Well, Kyle, I know you did and I did. Basically, it was, Blizzard checking in, seeing how we felt about the game.
Do you like me? Circle yes or no.
Circle yes or no. There you go. Exactly. So what'd you put, Kyle? What did you put as your favorite thing? What'd you put as your least favorite thing? Most wanted feature, least favorite maps, yada yada yada.
Certainly, my most wanted feature is a report and commend feature because I love single queuing. A lot of people who are newer to MOBAs, or particularly people coming from WoW and other sorts of games, expect to be on Skype the entirety of their gameplay and interacting with people. Now,
I don't think that's people coming from other games. I think that's just people who were born in the last, century, and you're just an outlier.
Right. I was training this guy at work the other day. I made an AOL online joke, and he didn't get it. He was only 4 years younger than me, but I was like, my God, I feel old for the first time. Doesn't know what instant messenger is.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But for me, that's a huge part of the game. I love single queuing mainly because I know in a rank system that I am playing with people that I can trust, and I just want to have the best game possible. That's often more important to me, oddly enough, than hanging out with my friends. I would rather spend my 20 minutes in an immersive, fully involved game than thinking in the back of my mind, Joe, buddy, you're my friend since high school, but you suck.
Yeah. That still happens in WoW. I don't know. I guess you didn't raid with friends, but it definitely still happens in WoW.
True.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that. So you want to report and commend a la Dota 2.
Exactly. That's not a perfect system. And I know they're working on a system right now. They announced that they're doing a levers will be paired with levers. So if you keep abandoning, you're going to play with people who abandon and have a good time in that chat.
Yeah. Have fun. Enjoy it, jerks.
My favorite thing is just I listed as the global XP for the whole team, because that really is their defining feature here. And as long as they continue to embrace that, they're going to have an amazing game, and a unique one, too.
I think I put the lack of items as my favorite.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Again, we talk. I'm not going to get back into it. Last week we said we love Dota. Okay, out of the way. Now let's, talk about this game. I love that, after a big team fight, people are dead. We're healing up the wounded. Everyone doesn't just stop and go shopping.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really nice. It keeps it exciting. And not to mention, there's that whole other level of accessibility of not looking at this grid with 500 things. I don't know what any of them are. And then I have, on top of that, I have Kyle training me, who knows the old names for everything, and knows half of the new names for everything.
Or well, at least the Blizzard licensed names. And I'm like, what, it's not Gauntlets of Strength anymore? It's not Robe of the Magi?
See, I never even, like, that big grid of stuff. Like, really, there was, like, 3 things that I even cared about. Because once I figured out what the hell items I was supposed to have, like, that was just a thing I had to do. And I'm just glad this game just has less things you have to do.
Right.
Just more playing, you know?
One of the things that Blizzard always has a great way of taking everything that's out there and making it their own. You see so many games, even like something like Guild Wars 2, which had some unique features, but you kind of saw where they pulled it from, and you can kind of draw one-to-one with this game. Mounts are a huge feature, and in classic MOBAs, boots are a big deal. And you are moving slowly for the entirety of your beginning game, and the first item that you have to get, hands down required, is a pair of boots to make you move faster.
Yeah.
Why not just get rid of it and add this fun element on top of it? In fact, this past week, they've updated some of the models for the mounts, which is delightful. You have the Barbarian used to just be kind of riding the horse normal style. Now she's like swinging her sword while she's going. Diablo's doing it like cowboy style with a hand up in the air.
Which they had to do something to Diablo because it did look weird to see Diablo like chilling.
Yeah, with his 2 little hands in front.
It still looks weird, but it looks slightly better. Again, the chat room, someone in chat last week said, honestly, the horse should just be riding Diablo.
I really wish they'd just given the horse to everything. Like, I want to see the tank on a horse. Instead, they gave us the rocket boosters, but, it's cool.
Yeah, that's actually one of the, on a serious note, one of the things I like is all the heroes feel unique in that regard.
Yeah, the new one is able to just, like, teleport to a hero, right? Was it Lily or...
That's Brightwing.
Brightwing, yeah.
Can teleport,
just, like, pick a hero and be like, I'm on my way.
It can teleport anywhere on the map as long as there is a person there on their team to click on.
Exactly, and Abathur has his tunnel, and I'm sure Zagara's with her Nidus Canals, that's going to be her method of movement as well. Oh, no, she actually pops out her wings and flies, so she doesn't even have a mount either.
That's sweet. I really think that's cool, as opposed to everyone just buying boots. You don't even get to see the boots in Dota.
Yeah. No, they really did. They must have looked at the other games and just been like, well, what are all the things everyone has to do? Okay, well, let's just give it to them, Like, why not? We all are doing this, right? We're all doing this. Let's just give it to everybody. Yeah.
It's why I'm so excited for this next WoW expansion, too. And I was a vanilla WoW player. I understand, like, some of that role-playing aspect, some of that, like, the hardness of it is going, but hell, I'm a busy man.
Hard.
And it's not
hard.
Fun.
That's the thing, right? It's like, it's just work. It's not hard. It's just effort. So, like, the game isn't about, like timing and all that stuff. It's about, like, well, I went and visited the guy to, get a gem. There you go. I did that, so I'm better. Like, that's stupid. That's annoying.
Artificial gating.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of... I mean, you could say that you could make the same argument about a lot of things in WoW, but it's a different experience when it's a persistent world.
But again, it's not like saying who's better at the game. It's just saying who's paying attention, like who's reading stuff. And you still have plenty to read in this game. I mean, you have to know like the balances between the different comps and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like that is just gone, but it's just like this painful like pouring over of stats. Some people are probably really into that, but I think the general population doesn't like doing it. And like Blizzard is one of the first companies to really embrace like, okay, let's just get rid of all this annoying stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the talent system too. It's another thing I really love about the game. And I think saying that you love the lack of items is it's hand in hand with saying I love the talent system, because that's what replaces the items. So
sure. And one of the things about the items when you start getting going in one of those games was you wanted to pick passive items, so you didn't have a ton of buttons to click. And hell, with this talent system, if you want to load up that bar, hell, you can have the whole thing taking up your bottom buttons there, and you could be going up to like 5.
Yeah, I forget one of the builds I do on Tyrande just gives me so many extra abilities. It looks like a WoW UI by the time I'm finished.
Yeah, I have the same thing with Nova. I can do the poison and I can do the overdrive, so it's like just a lot. And I have the rewind too, so there's like a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah,
but
it's fun stuff.
I generally stay away from those because I feel like the passive ones, like they're just up more often, so they're over time more powerful. But that might just be my current meta brain not really getting how powerful those are.
it is easier, and I would suggest for new players that they pick passives that are augmenting abilities they already have. But someone like Nova, I mean, you're running out of mana sometimes, and that ability mixed in with something you already have is increasing the effectiveness of that mana spent.
Yeah, that's true. The problem is Overdrive also increases the mana cost of all of my abilities, so it actually spends a bunch. But yeah, it's an interesting thing to look at too. Like there's Malfurion has some abilities that like, you know, up the amount of times you can cast things, but then you also then are more often and then useless basically. So it's actually better to just take like the passive mana regen stuff and just be able to constantly be, because that's what Malfurion really does, is kind of like keeps everybody going, right? It extends the fight. And if you take all that stuff, you basically burn out really quickly, and then you're useless. So, you know, you're just like chucking little moonbeams that do nothing. So,
yeah. So anyway, it was a big week for Heroes of the Storm. There's a lot of stuff going on in game and out of game. I guess first up, you know, the day after we recorded our first episode last week, they had the Heroes of the Storm panel at PAX East, like first thing in the morning. This was really early in the morning for you, Dills.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, you caught up. I know you caught up on everything afterwards because you talked about it on the instance. So
yeah. Yep.
Anyway, so they did a big heroes panel. They announced 4 new heroes in like a proper, like, here's a look at them, here's their move set. Also, hey, we're playing all 4 of these new heroes in the game that we're casting kind of way. And then there was some in development heroes this show where it's just like, here's their model, we're telling you nothing about how they play.
Here's Sylvanas, but you can't.
Yeah, exactly. So the new heroes that were announced are Lily, the young Pandaren female from Mists of Pandaria, Brightwing, the random fairy dragon who looks a lot like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, and I'm very happy about that. And it turns out one of his skin or her skins, all black. I can't wait to get that skin. Then there's Zagara, the Zerg Queen from Heart of the Swarm, and Murky, the baby Murloc, who just looks hysterical.
Yeah, but I really wish that I could have a Blizzard game with no Murlocs in it, please. Let's
just one. And where their entire purpose isn't to be annoying.
Yeah, but it kind of is though, right? Like you read it, like what Murky does.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like, just never dies. It comes back to life instantly all the time.
Well, he always dies. Actually, Dustin
it.
Browder. I was watching the panel, and Dustin Browder. It was hysterical. He's just like, when we were thinking about Murlocs, well, they suck. They're terrible. You don't think about a Murloc and he doesn't instill fear in you. They just die. So we figured, why don't we make a character that's bad? It's all he's based around dying, and they turn that into a mechanic. And I'm really interested to see how that pans out. He sounds really interesting and fun, like on its face. So I don't know. I'm curious.
It's very cool. You kind of plant your egg where you're going to be your respawn point, and every time you die, you come back at that egg. Now, granted, if you want to play super duper safe, you can hide that egg way in the back of your base. You go out, you die super easy. You have like 500 health compared to something like Diablo that's starting with about 2,000. You get trashed. You have to walk all the way back from the main base out into the battlefield again. So the idea being that you hide the egg in the bushes somewhere. Yeah. And you conveniently pop out somewhere close again and get right back into the battle.
I mean, you could put it behind your forwardmost wall and, at least for the early game, be quite safe.
Well, this also is interesting because you think it's going to be a strategy when you're playing against Murky to be checking bushes as you run by, looking for that egg, because you can kill the egg.
Yeah.
Just like Abathur, you're looking for that locust path, and if it's coming out of the woods to the bottom, you're like, well, I'm going to go check those woods there.
Hey, where are you going, Diablo? I'm going Abathur hunting.
And Murky, also when he is hatching, again, respawning, there's an alarm that goes off, kind of a, wake-up bell. And that's going to have a bit of, dynamic sound to it. When you are looking for me, you're going to kind of be able to just follow the sound and be like, okay, he's there. He's right behind that wall. If we charge it, ignore the towers, and break the fence, we'll be right there where the egg is.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I still don't like Murlocs. I'm just damaged goods at this point when it comes to Murlocs.
I know. Yeah. Did you die to them a lot in WoW? Because
no, never.
That's a much larger problem I think we need to discuss.
No, never did. Just
okay.
killed killed them all the time in that.
Hey,
I loved my Murloc suit and everything in that one quest. All that was all fun, and then Hearthstone happened.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Anyway, Lily...
And don't talk about that like that's not a big deal, because Murlocs are one of the first social creatures, and in one of those games where they ran away, you're like, I'll get him in a moment, and he comes back with 10 friends. That was mind-blowing in the past.
Anyway, Lily and Brightwing have been added to the games since Tuesday. Well, technically Wednesday. The game is down all damn day Tuesday. But we're going to talk about them a little more in today's strategy section, so we can kind of get through some of this massive patch note and a little more of the PAX news. So the in-development heroes we saw, you mentioned Sylvanas already, Dills. They also showed a model for Chen Stormstout and Kael'thas. Cool. Bring it on.
Yeah,
excited for Kael'thas.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah, me too.
This game, they're never going to run out of heroes. Like, they're just never going to run out. There's so many friggin' people.
No, I mean, especially when you think about it, when you think about Dota, where every hero in Dota was a Warcraft model.
Yeah.
So they have all of that, and then they have all of Diablo, and then they have all of StarCraft, and all of whatever other games they might actually come out with in the future.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Well, I was saying the other night, like, they should do, like, I know the Lost Vikings, but Blizzard did make a Superman game a while ago. Superman guy in there.
So it would just be a broken character that was actually unplayable.
No, well, obviously you can't. Like, he's actually Superman. Like, he's indestructible. He shoots lasers out of his eyes. Yeah, he can fly instantly to any part of the map. Yeah, that makes sense.
That'd be so awful.
I mean, they could do whatever they want.
Yeah, Lost Vikings and Blackthorn seem a little more obvious choices.
Yeah.
They showed some updated hero models. They're looking mighty fine. I'm very excited for the new Tyrande. She looks sweet. Everything just looks slightly less plasticky, like less action figure looking, which I'm...
They're just they just look cooler, just awesomer.
Yeah.
Well, and we knew this was gonna happen. I mean, people are not your character is nodding its head when it's talking. We were gonna see an update, but I honestly didn't expect this large of an update.
It makes the old model look kind of stupid, though, doesn't it? Like, Diablo looks lame as hell when you look at the old model. And then you look at the new one, it's like, okay, badass.
When you take something like the Barbarian, where it's like, wow, she got rid of the glowing eyes, she has personality, her hair's flowing, and then you look at Diablo and you're like, oh, he just looks more pissed. I want him, but he just looks more pissed.
But, like, the eyes are all, like, bugged out in the old one, and the chest is, like, a weird T shape. And then the new one, it's like, he actually is, like, bulky Diablo,
Yeah.
It did a really good job.
I'm having a very similar reaction to whenever they release like a new WoW character model. I'm just like, damn, that looks nice. It's getting closer and closer to being a 1-to-1 representation of what their art looks like, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then finally, another thing that they previewed was Ultimate Hero skins. They only showed Abathur and the Barbarian at the moment, but these looking real sweet. They look like beefed up versions of the base hero armor, or just like what they normally look like, but they're unlocked through quests and not through money. So, I'm all for it. Looks badass.
Yeah, stuff to earn.
Yeah, the quest to get a skin outside of buying it with money is about 300 wins or 300 games played.
So that's like your epic hero quest, right?
Exactly. I mean, we have the same thing in Hearthstone. Where is it 500 games you have to play to get a
golden hero? Yeah. And I'm new.
It's not just games played; it's wins. So that could be like 1,000.
And only in ranked play.
Yeah. Yeah, which is brutal.
Yeah, real rough. They need to put Arena in with that.
I know, it sucks. Yeah.
So that was that. You could, if you go to the hero site. I forgot to check. Do they have the Shoutcast the match up as a VOD? I believe they do.
They have to. Yeah. It's probably. I mean, they streamed all this stuff on Twitch, so I'm sure you can find it on Twitch too.
It was also really funny watching Kevin Naki cast a game that he also played in. that was quite amusing. I really enjoyed that. So. But yeah, so we got all this flood of information from PAX East on Friday morning, and then Tuesday, half of the stuff's going in. We've got Lily, we've got Brightwing. I think a couple of the updated character models came in, as well as some new skins and a bunch of other stuff. We got a massive tech alpha patch this past Tuesday that kept, like we said, the servers were down all day. But the first thing that happened is the account wipe. So we've all been in the alpha now for a while. We've all leveled up. I was 23. What level were you guys?
Like 19.
19, so you were just shy of 20? Okay.
Yeah.
Kyle?
I was 22.
22.
All right. What sucks, though, is I was 19, which means I get 20,000 less gold.
Yeah.
If I had gotten one more level, I would have gotten 30,000 gold.
So all of our levels have been reset back to 1. All of our purchases have been white. Well, actually, it's weird. You know what? I didn't buy any heroes with real money. But
I did.
Okay. Do you still have Nova then, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Because what I thought was going to happen is that was all going to be credited back via BattleNet balance, and you could just repurchase it. But it appears anything you purchase with real money is just still unlocked.
I think it's just still there for now.
Because the only thing I bought,
they will do that actual refund in BlizzBucks, but for now, you still got it.
Okay, yeah, because the only thing I had purchased with real money was a skin. All of the heroes I had unlocked through gold, so they've all been reset. But they did this, they're gifting everyone X amount of gold for being over X level, so if you're between 1 to 19, you get 10,000, so that's what you got, Dills. If you're over 20, you get 30,000. So
you guys.
Yeah, I'm loaded. I'm loaded.
That does feel like a lot, right? I mean,
it was more gold than I actually made getting to 20.
Right? Yeah.
But that's also because the quest didn't really work. There was ones to grab towers. There was a win with a team, which I did plenty of times, but didn't finally gave it to me the day before.
I had the one to capture 5 merc camps, and I had it for like weeks. I was like, dude, I'm capturing merc camps. Clearly. I'm capturing merc camps when I'm playing the game.
They were totally messed up. But also they made all of the heroes free to play until apparently it ended a couple hours ago. Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's what I thought, because when I saw that there was like servers down, I was like, well, this has to be the end of the free rotation. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was really fun. Got to play around with the new heroes, and then I guess we'll get into the patch itself here, because there's a lot of changes. We have custom games now. So those are.
You guys are more familiar with what a custom game in a MOBA means. What does that really mean?
Well, I mean, it exists in StarCraft as well. It's just you.
Well, yeah.
You have a lobby with X amount of slots to fill out a whole game, so you can So now we can invite 10 people and have it 5 versus 5 between all friends.
Okay.
One important note is in StarCraft, you can invite someone and you can make them an observer. This is really good for tournaments and whatnot. Observers are currently disabled in the tech alpha. So there's no easy way to do a pre-made match. Because I was really excited to see this, because I'm like, cool, we might finally see Heroes of the Storm tournaments. Because, I mean, hell, we saw Hearthstone ones right out the gate, and there's still not an observer mode in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I think it's borderline impossible to cast a game like this if you can't control the camera.
Yeah. You're like watching somebody play. You just have that one perspective, and that doesn't work in a game like this.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
And this
stuff.
Patch did bring a host of new bugs, and some of them being when you start up the game, it crashes. When the game,
that's pretty bad.
Bug. Launches, it crashes. And there's a lot of lag spikes.
I was playing with Kristen this afternoon, and that's exactly what happened. I got in, and she got booted right out, and it sucked. Yeah. So I don't know. Looking forward to the Observer being added. Apparently, experience is now getting capped to 1.6 million combined per day for custom games, practice, and co-op. There's no cap for versus mode, so you can.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, I guess that's basically just to prevent you from botting against yourself, right? I mean,
exactly.
Yes.
Which what are there people really botting in an alpha? Like, are there people who are that lame? Are they going to bot in a tech alpha? But all right. I guess it's stuff you just got to throw in eventually.
I grinded a bunch of AI games really early when I got in, just because I wanted to max out one of the hero quests just to see the skin that I unlocked. But it's because I just wanted to see how it worked, and I was like, well, this will be faster than playing with 4 other random people and possibly losing. So
that's true. Yeah.
However, that's also been changed, because now quests can only be completed in versus mode. Previously, it could be completed in practice mode, which is against the AI, and co-op, which is with 4 real players versus a team of AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you can only complete quests in versus. So if you've got a quest that says win, you've got to win in a legitimate, honest-to-God match against real people. Which some people
makes sense, though.
Yeah. Some people losing their minds over it. I'm not surprised in the least. As a matter of fact, I was on the kind of the opposite school when we were first playing in the tech alpha, and you could complete quests against AI. I was really surprised.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it just seems like that's how it's supposed to be. A quest isn't supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be something you got to actually go out and do.
Yeah, if you're
remember,
gaining...
eventually Versus is going to be unranked play.
Sure. It'll be like casual mode, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
That's where you'll go. And it's kind of an issue to do it with computers because some of these quests are capture 10 towers. What if you're on a team with a guy who just needs one more tower? He gets his tower and leaves and tallies up his XP and calls it a day, and that's pretty lame.
Yeah. Well, then he gets punished, though, right? He has to play with levers.
He will
because he's in Versus. If he was in a custom game or another one.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but who's playing custom games with random people? I mean, that's...
People with no friends, Garrett. Look, you're a popular dude.
That would be really funny, though. Like, if we all make a 10-man custom game, and then I'm just like, I got my tower. I'm out, bitches.
I'm out of here. See ya.
Everyone just looks around like, Garrett's kind of a dick.
Not our friend anymore, you guys. Can we all agree on that?
Don't you two do a show with him? Yeah, we're gonna have to find someone else. Scott, what are you doing?
Yeah, Scott's got time for multiple new podcasts for sure.
I have done this in Hearthstone, though. Like, I need to play one more minion that costs less than 2, and I just play it and I'm out. But I'm giving that guy a win. In this game, you're kind of messing up the game for everyone.
Yeah, you're screwing everybody else up. You're not hooking anybody up with anything. So, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So, the shop got some changes. They are adding bundles. They're here. You can do it right now.
They're here. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm really tempted to buy all of them.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because it's all whatever value Blizzard decided to give it, and since we've already been living in the ecosystem with their value structure for like a month now, then I'm seeing those prices, which I honestly thought were a little expensive to begin with drastic discounts. I'm just like, yeah, that's a good deal. I should buy that.
Well, how much are the bundles? Like I said, I haven't been able to log in.
They're varying cost, but none of them are less than a 60% discount. Some of them are even more. There's currently
good, though.
There's currently 4 bundles, 3 of which are IP specific. So there's a Warcraft, StarCraft, and Diablo bundle.
Yeah.
And then there's also a StarCraft bundle. Or no, a starter bundle. Sorry, not a StarCraft bundle. Okay. Starter bundle, which has like 6 heroes, like I think 4 skins and a mount, and it's like $30, I think, $28. So it's like it's a pretty good deal considering the cost of everything if you were to buy it.
Well, people are going to buy it.
Right, exactly.
This is probably going to get a lot of people who are like, I don't want to buy just like one hero. Like,
yeah, it's like looking at them. It's like if there's even one hero in these packages like that you're kind of considering.
Yeah,
it's kind of like you're definitely going to be thinking about getting it. I don't know.
Yeah, this is probably like I would be more likely to purchase this than like I did buy Nova with real money, but that's mostly because it's an alpha. Like I did this in Hearthstone with the beta. You know, it's like okay, I'll do the thing that they want me to do.
Yeah, but in Hearthstone, you kept doing it, and then you did it again, and then you did it another time. And sooner or later, you're like, damn, I've spent more money on this than WoW.
No, definitely not. But I mean, like, Nova buying it was, to me, kind of like a painful thing. Like, just buying one hero. Like, this, to me, is like, okay, I could buy a few, and then I still could change what hero I'm playing. You know? Like,
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the thing I think is really attractive.
As a matter of fact, Nova is in the starter bundle now that I think about it. Yeah, as well as Stitches and a bunch of other people. And her roller derby skin is one of the skins that's included in the starter bundle.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to get you that skin because it just seems like, for whatever reason, in my head, you're just a blonde in a roller derby outfit.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah. You know, that's how it goes.
Funny story. There's actually a disco roller derby that opened on my street.
Oh.
Where people roller skate with old school roller skates, not blades. I'm sure some people blade. but only douchebags. Everyone else is an old 4 wheels side to side type of thing, and they get all dressed up. It's the weirdest thing.
Dude,
It's
you can make fun of it. When he's out there, when some dude's out there in like his ice creams, like dancing while doing it, like that's just impressive.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I can't hate on that guy. He's owning it, so yeah. But I still haven't even gone into it. So it's funny that you think of me as a roller skater when I literally could walk out my door right now, go 20 feet to my right, and be roller skating, and have not done that yet. I'm like the anti-roller skater.
Well,
hater.
Next time I'm
Roller hater, exactly.
Next time I visit North California, I expect us to rectify that.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
I'm in.
Lay it on down to the Ghirardelli.
Roller skating.
Are we gonna hold hands while we skate around?
Yeah, man. We'll get someone to
Okay.
Get someone to tape it and make a really awesome video for the YouTube. Come on.
All right, I'm in.
Got those big hills in San Francisco. Go down to Ghirardelli, get some fish when you're down there.
I'm pretty sure if you took roller skates down to San Francisco Hill, you would reach terminal velocity.
We die. Yeah.
Some new skins have also been added to the shop. We've got a Monarch like butterfly style Brightwing because she wasn't fabulous enough already.
Sure.
And then Pajamather is finally in the game.
Yeah, it's real.
We can finally be a baby pajama clad Abathur.
It's no longer an April Fool's joke. It's
and when I saw it, when I saw that April Fool's and I saw that they had made a full rendered in-game model, I'm like, this is going to be a skin. You didn't go through that much trouble to not put it in the game.
I was actually thinking that. I was like, do they just have animators like just chilling all over the place at Blizzard? They could just throw on anything. Like, they're like, yeah, your job is to just make a fake skin today. It's like,
I love that the skin variations are trains, trucks, or Zerg symbols.
It's wonderful. Yeah, it's good.
We're missing dinosaurs, but maybe a future patch.
Okay. But dinosaur Pajamather. Awesome. The Haunted Mines was tweaked slightly more in this patch. The scaling health for the underground grave golem has been increased from 625 to 750 health per minute. So
does that mean health per minute of the game? Like how long the game's gone on and then the golem at that time? I'm not sure what that actually means. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed, but
so that way he gets exponentially a little more tough.
He gets stronger as we get stronger.
To take down, yeah, but we're getting stronger so it equals out. Right. It's because otherwise you just walk down and poke him and he would die.
Yeah. Exactly. That's an important note. This is the underground grave golem, the one you fight. It's important that he takes longer to kill because he's got most of the skulls later on.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't the one that actually spawns. That already had its scaling and that one was fine, right? So
right, exactly. And actually that it's weaker later in the game.
Yeah.
So
but by then it's at your main base, so
that's a very good point.
It really doesn't matter how weak it is; it's still getting something done.
Yeah, man, those things, man, they do work. And then there is just a slew of balance changes. So many, in fact, that it would be absurd to talk about it hero by hero on this show. Yeah. It would take all night, and we're not going to do it.
They're all like one or two things too. It's
right, exactly. So what we're gonna do, we're basically gonna list who got buffed, who got nerfed, who's getting reworked, and then we're gonna talk. We cherry picked a few personally that we really wanted to discuss the changes of. First up, everybody, hero movement speed has been increased, so you're gonna be moving a little faster by 0.4. It was 4.0, now it's 4.4.
Increase actually. I mean, it's like
you noticed it too. I played a little today, and it's definitely seems a little peppier.
10% faster. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a nice increase. They also said that several measures have been implemented to help prevent snowballing, but I didn't see anything specifying what the hell they're talking about, so I don't know why they bothered telling us.
This is the most abstract thing ever.
It seems incredibly important. This seems like it could be the biggest damn thing in this entire massive alpha patch, but we don't know what it is.
Just several measures. That's all you need to know.
Thanks. We turned up the heat so the snowball melts faster. Oh.
Top men, Garrett.
Got it. There you go.
Top men on it, yep.
Who? Top men. Anyway, under the list of buffs, we've got Arthas, Kerrigan, Muradin, Sergeant Hammer, Stitches, Tychus, and Tyrael. So they're all partying. I also want to mention some people, it was kind of like a balancing act. Some people, like, some of their moves got nerfed while others got buffed. But
right, and I divided up this list here. So if you disagree with me, basically what I did was if anyone got a damage or health increase, they ended up
in the buff.
Exactly. But if there was just like the cast time of something changed or the duration of something changed, it probably ended up in nerf because something else changed too that was more nerf.
In a negative fashion. Okay, yeah. And under nerfs, we have ETC, Falstad, Gazlowe, Nova, Raynor, Tyrande, and Zeratul. And then completely reworked. Barbarian's Fury got tweaked, Diablo's Soulstones got tweaked, and Demon Hunter's Hatred got tweaked. So, I'm not surprised by this list. I mean, looking at it, definitely in the buffs, it's most of the characters I thought were on the weaker side.
Yeah.
Maybe not Stitches. I felt like Stitches was in a good place, but like Tyrael and Arthas, I was not feeling at
Granted,
all.
Stitches got a buff to an ability that people were just skipping in the first place, some of his bile kind of spewing, and the slowing abilities of it, which are usually looked over. But damn, Stitches is rough. And coming from Dota, where that is a much harder skill shot to get off with the hook, because you can grab creeps in the way. In this game, it just shoots right through everything.
Yeah.
If you're not looking to dodge actively, standing behind something isn't going to help you.
Yeah.
You didn't mention Tassadar in here, did you? I don't see it. So I feel like Tassadar was one of the heroes that was really annoying to me. And I think it got a slight nerf, right?
Oh, looks like I did overlook that one.
Yeah, Tassadar got nerfed. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, protective
cooldown
shield,
increase and health reduction. So thank God, because you could not kill that freaking thing, dude.
I don't understand why when he does that move that makes him go stealth, he's invulnerable. Where anyone else who goes stealth can be taken the hell out of stealth.
I know.
Why have him go stealth? Why not have him just be that douchey kid when you were playing tag as when you were young who yells "Fourth field"? Like, no, you're tagged. Deal with it. Oh,
and it's so satisfying as Diablo to unleash that huge wave of lightning on a Nova who's running away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Nova gets taken out of it. Zeratul gets taken out of it. Tyrande, if she specs into her heal, granting the cloak, that cloak will cancel if any damage is done. I don't know. I don't understand that one thing. I think the wording needs to be changed. Like, he becomes an invulnerable piece of crap when that's what it should say.
Here he lost health, though, and this is health per level. I mean, ultimately, when he's max level, he is going to have 15 less health for every single level that he got, and that's a lot. That's a big decrease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that dodge, it's not as big a deal. I'm a little sad just from a lore aspect that
Maybe.
Of all the heroes that have on-death abilities, like Tassadar should do something.
Right.
He sacrificed himself to kill the Overmind.
Maybe.
That was then. What has he done for us lately is what I want to know.
Been dead, that's what.
He showed up and prophesied to Zeratul, didn't he?
Okay, all right.
Right? I forget
All I'm saying is, ultimate should be he turns into a carrier and slams into the ground.
That would be amazing. I don't know how you'd actually be able to see the battleground when something that large came out of orbit, but...
Oh, yeah, I guess Raynor has put it in the game that they are going to scale now.
Well, sort of, kind of. That Hyperion's pretty damn high in orbit if the shadow's that small.
That's true. It's a tiny sun.
It's a tiny... Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, but yet the area of effect is insanely massive,
Yep.
even though it's tiny. Yeah.
Good stuff. So the hero I wanted to talk about is Arthas. Last week I talked about. I mean, you guys know my tale, and last week I talked about it that he was the guy I was the most excited to play. Saved up the gold for it, got him, unlocked him before anyone else, and I just thought he sucked. So that was
He did.
that was disappointing.
And clearly Blizzard agreed.
I was just about to say, and we were having these discussions. I'm like, well, everyone's like, well, does he really suck, or do you just suck with him, or is it just no meta? No one knows how to play him correctly. And it turns out apparently Blizzard kind of agrees because he got a nice buff, like kind of across the board. His basic attack damage got buffed from 55 plus 5 per level to 59 plus 6 per level. Frost Strike got increased from 60 plus 11 per level to 80 plus 15 per level, so big damage increase on Frost Strike, and I have noticed it. Frostmourne Hunger, the basic attack damage bonus is now 40. It used to be 20, so they doubled the basic attack bonus of Frostmourne Hungers. It also lasts 2 seconds longer. And Rune Tab now requires 3 stacks for an 8% heal rather than 5 for a 10%.
So it's just more often, but slightly less.
Slightly less, but yeah, more often, which is great. And I played him pretty much exclusively last night with some of the Bat Signal guys, which is what we should just start calling our heroes group. Just call it the Bat Signal, right? You okay with that? And it went really well. I mean, we won one, lost one, but it was kind of just. I didn't feel like we lost because I was playing Arthas, which is how I was feeling before.
Yeah. Now, do you still feel like his mobility is a problem, or is it okay now that you're able to stand and fight a little more?
Yeah, it's just for me personally, I'm less inclined to play a character that doesn't have some type of mobility spell.
Yeah.
I think he's fine. I think it's more of just a personal play style for me.
Let's think about Lich King in World of Warcraft, because he would move pretty damn slow in that game too, right? So it would be weird if he was zipping around all over the place.
He's not known for it, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt to just like give him a charge or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like when he like went to the middle to start like doing his big AOE, he like slowly walked over to the middle, right? It wasn't like I teleport to the middle and start doing. No, it was like, here he goes. Okay, everybody run over. We got plenty of time. Like, if you die, you suck at this game.
Well, he's a Death Knight, so he could just open a Death Gate, and it could be like a teleport, like Death Gate, and then it opens up on the other end.
You could have a Death Gate. That would be interesting. I would like that.
That'd be really. It'd be a cool graphic. It opens up on one end, he walks into it, and then it opens up on the exit. And comes out.
I really feel like there's a lot to Arthas that isn't being utilized right now because he doesn't have the mobility, correct? But he has a lot of active slows, and he can kind of cement you to the ground. And then on top of that, he has the mana drain. So clearly he's supposed to have the health to stay on top of you the entire time, lock you down, maybe not slow you, definitely not pull you back like someone like Stitches or Diablo, but keep you locked down and then disable you through a sort of drain activity.
Yeah.
It's a lot longer-winded than I use the ability you are instantly stunned.
Yeah. When you look at him, like that's initially what I thought is like, I'm not supposed to be running away ever. I'm supposed to be running after you with this guy.
Yeah, and especially if you spec into Rune Tab, the more you stay on someone and whack the crap out of them, the more you're healing yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So it was just weird to me that he was like running away all the time. I was like, that is the Lich King right there. Yeah. He should not be turning tail.
He should be leading the charge.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the guy that, like, oh, well, there's no creep wave, but we really should attack this wall. Arthas, get in there and tank it.
Yeah. It took me and 24 of my close friends to kill him last time I ran into that guy. And in this game, it was just like, nope. Just Tassadar. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah. In his defense, the entire game it's a who's who of the most badass characters in Blizzard. Until recently, now we have Lily and Brightwing, but
oh yeah, no, they are the most badass characters of all time. Come on. You see Lily?
I'm thoroughly surprised by how much I am enjoying Brightwing. But I'm just talking about, importance in lore. Brightwing is something that I killed 30 of for scales.
Well, sure. I mean, if we're going lore here, what they should have done is just had the block of ice sitting in your base the whole time, but your special ability is you can chat to the other team, and you try to seduce them to coming over and cracking you open.
That's true. There you go.
And then you get to control their character.
Yeah.
God, that would be awesome. Man, wonderful. Anyway, yeah. So I'm really happy about the Arthas changes. I'm digging him now. So I think he might be my quote-unquote warrior class. That's what they're calling the kind of tanky, large health dudes. I think he might be my dude of choice. Although I still really enjoy the barbarian because of all of the mobility.
Yeah.
The chain plus the
barbarian got nerfed though, right?
Yeah, she's still pretty damn fun to play though.
Yeah. I mean, but she was annoying as hell though with all that healing when she's just spinning around. You're like, okay, well we can't kill barbarian, so
she's spinning and walk away.
Yeah. They changed her this week, so it used to be she had a passive ability with her fury that every time she hit, she was health stealing and getting some back. Granted, I didn't have a lore problem with it because health on hit, that's a Diablo barbarian thing right there.
Sure.
Yeah. Revenge, man, even though it's not a move on her. So,
but now they changed it that whenever you use an ability, you get 10% movement speed. So you're a little more on top of people. It feels a lot more active, and you can use your abilities better, and you can cancel your crater. Which, if you weren't familiar with that, you could do this jump slam, And if you missed, you just sat in the crater for 5 seconds. It was like being in timeout. You messed up,
Otherwise
guy.
known as, oh, yeah. My favorite things. Yeah.
I didn't know you can cancel the crater now. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good. Dills, who did you want to talk about?
Well, I only really play Nova, so I was going to talk about Nova. Although
That's okay. That's absolutely
I've been moving
okay.
into Malfurion, and I'm liking Malfurion a lot again.
He is a wonderful healer.
Yeah, I just, I think I was playing him a little wrong before. I think I was specking incorrectly. Like I was taking some things like Tranquility, which is basically that massive heal, where actually you're kind of already doing enough healing that, like, because once you hit some people with your heal over time, like they're good to go. So then I bust another heal out, and it's like, well, okay, I'm just healing the crap out of people I've already healed now.
Yo, dog, I heard you like heals.
Yeah. So I tried out the nightmare thing or whatever, and it's much better. It's actually really good. So I'm liking Malfurion a lot.
Awesome.
But Nova, Malfurion actually, did you notice, didn't even get touched? Not a single change. Malfurion, all good. Totally perfect.
I agree with it. He was another one of those heroes where I'm just like, I feel good about him. I think they hit it right on the head with him.
Yeah. So Dills, Dills. So Nova, come on, Nova is Dills. So Nova, the holo decoy range increased basically. So you can throw the decoy out.
Oh, the sight radius.
Yeah. So basically, what that means is I can throw one out farther away from me. Like I can put it out 6 instead of 3, right?
I thought that meant that the decoy saw further.
I don't think so. Is that true?
Yeah, it's the sight radius.
Because otherwise that would be.
So I get more map presence then.
Yeah, sight radius. Because you're thinking of cast radius.
Yeah, cast range. Yeah. So the sight radius improved. That didn't really do much, but it did make a difference when you're doing like getting the skulls and stuff like that, and kind of seeing what the hell is going on down there. But really, the wounding shot was the big thing here, which it got reduced from 30 to 25%. And the thing that I thought was weird about this was I never used that. So apparently, I wasn't using the OP ability that Nova had, because I was always trying to do the stuff to get more triple taps, basically. Because triple tap is really the thing with Nova. So I was doing stuff like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically like every time I basic attack, it reduces the cooldown on all my stuff.
Okay.
So,
right, and that's a striker kind of, everyone sort of has it as their additional abilities outside their, character specific ones.
Yeah,
it's always funny when you hear about these things, and you're like, oh, damn it! Like, we fixed an issue where if you flew all the overlords to the corner of the map, you auto win, and you're like, why wasn't I using that?
I could have been doing that. Yeah. So I used wounding shot plenty of times, and I think what it felt like to me was the level where I got wounding shot was too early for it to really feel effective to me. That's always why it ended up kind of moving away from it. Was the moment I got it, we were still kind of laning. There wasn't as many team fights going on. So like I would wound you and then not be able to kill you still. Like it wasn't like all of a sudden it was the difference between a kill or not a kill. Whereas like later in the game, a wounding shot could mean that not only am I attacking you, but 2 other heroes on my side are attacking you too. So suddenly we're all doing 30% more damage.
Some of those first level choices are just really fascinating in that way. Like, getting the merc stacks, you tribute, or what is it exactly? Is it called? But you get 40 kills and you kind of stack up a currency.
Where you bribe, right?
Bribe.
Yes, bribe, and you walk right over to a mercenary camp, spend it, instantly get them. At level 1, you're thinking to yourself, is the game going to even go that well for this to come into play?
Yeah, it's going to take a while before my first bribe, And then later on, it's like you're just bribing all the time. So
exactly.
That being said, there's really never a bad time to instantly send off a merc camp. If you're losing, it's good. If you're winning, it's good.
Yeah, it seems to me like when this becomes a competitive game, it's going to be like every comp has some hero that has bribe in it. Like every successful comp will have that.
Right.
Because it just seems like it's just too important.
Yeah, we're gonna get a game. We're like, Dills, you're my bribe man.
You gotta go with the tank. We need Sergeant Hammers. We need the bribe. It's gonna be like that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting. That's a really good thing about the specialists. And Kyle, what about you? Diablo, I'm assuming?
Yep, they changed Soul Stones this week for the better, I think. I was really enjoying them over the weekend. It was sitting there the whole time. I just ignored it, but there's a level 1 talent where you can up your soul. So Soul Stones work where a kill happens, either you get the last hit on it. It's kind of like, whoa, my God, last hit actually in this game. Or it just happens right next to you, kind of based off damage that you just did. So it's not perfect last hit.
Okay.
And if we got an email about this, if you're not familiar with last hit, it's a term that means in most MOBA games, you have to get the killing blow on an enemy in order to get the gold from them. In those games, kills happening around your hero still is giving everyone XP, but you have to be the final hit to get that.
Yeah.
So it'd be like if in Diablo, when it's like, so-and-so got the last hit on Balagor, they only got loot.
Yeah. Can you explain what the Soul Stones actually do to me? Because I haven't played enough Diablo to understand.
Right. So his passive is for every soul he gets, someone dying in his close presence, he gets 1 stack of a soul stone going up to now 100. And for that stack, he gets 5 health. Okay. When you reached 50 souls, you would instantly res in 5 seconds. Well, not instantly, but it'd take 5 seconds to the normal, maybe 60 seconds in a late game to instantly respawn.
Okay.
So it was super powerful. You could get to 50 stacks pretty damn easily. So in the past, you were coming back all the time. Now they've done it so that you have to have 100 stacks, but when you die, your stacks no longer go away. So if you get up to 75 stacks and you die, you got to sit through that 30 to a minute, timeout.
But when you come back, you have 75.
Exactly. You get those 25 kills, you get that instant res. And now it works well so that there was a talent where you could get over 100 stacks up to 200 now. And if you have that 200, hell, you're sitting on top of 2 reses.
Yeah. That's pretty sick. Okay.
Nice.
So how just lose the 100 when you actually do that fast res? That's it.
Exactly. You don't control it. You don't get to choose, this is my fast res. If you have the 100, you are coming back in 5 seconds.
See, because when I read this, I was like, cool, Soulstone stacks changed. Great. Don't know what that does. Like, I knew Diablo came back quickly, but I hadn't played enough Diablo to understand what was actually happening there. So
it's a really cool mechanic. And this past weekend, I worked on a build I really enjoyed where I could go from at level 20, because that's a pretty common level to get to before a game ends. I was at about 6,000 health, but with a certain build, I spec'd into the Soul Stone a lot, so I could be at over 10,000 health.
Holy crap.
Based on these souls inside of me. And I was just a marauding badass.
Well, all those souls inside you, yeah.
This is what eat your souls every day. It makes you grow big and strong.
Yeah, and your vitamins. Yeah, don't forget those.
So you're happy with the change?
Yeah, it's a little sad to see that it doesn't go up to 250 anymore. Probably won't be breaking that 10,000 mark, but I prefer this certainly. Losing all the souls when you were at 49 was pretty lame.
Yeah,
but he was nerfed outside of that, correct? Diablo.
I'm scrolling to it now.
Yeah, Apocalypse cooldown increased to 120 from 100, and damage decreased from 160 to 100. Holy crap!
Wow, that's a big nerf.
So apparently, Apocalypse was OP. All right.
Well, Apocalypse was the stun everyone on the map ability.
Yeah, that was OP.
Which I did not use because it's really easy. If you're paying attention, the devil,
pops up. Yeah,
the pentagram appears below you. You have about 2 seconds to just walk out of it.
Sure.
And it goes off.
My ulti did nothing. Awesome.
But, I mean, this had to be changed because for newer players, what's more frustrating than just everyone getting stunned at once? What the hell just happened to me?
Yeah.
Currently in the game, there's not a system where you died. But here's the list of things that killed. There's no combat log for you to kind of look back and be like, oh, Apocalypse. So they need to make sure they're not just frustrating people out of the gate.
Makes sense.
All right. So, yeah, I didn't see anything in all of these changes that I disagreed with.
No.
Other than nerfs to Tyrande, because, well, why nerf the character I play? Don't do that.
Well, and
yes.
I think both you and I, Garrett, are like, really buff to Stitches, but it's so early, it's hard to tell.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's specifically for Putrid Bile. which
Exactly.
was not seeing a lot of play anyway.
That wasn't that wasn't the thing that was making Stitches really good.
And if they're buffing so that we see more diversity in builds, bring it on.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes the game more interesting. Keeps us
I
on our
love
toes.
I really like just on a side note, the Sergeant Hammer decrease in cast time for going into tank mode.
Oh God, yeah. This is
because that made that hero really difficult to play.
Oh, it's a total liability. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a game where you need to keep your ass moving, and this hero is better when it's standing completely still and can't move.
Yeah, like like when we're playing, it's like, oh, he's sieged up, like go get him. Like, 'cause it's not like he can insta kill people when he's sieged. He's doing more damage, but
It's amazing.
that basically means if we get his ass, if we swoop him,
that's the one hero that I play it, and I'm like, this feels so close to StarCraft. Like, and I feel like what I learned from StarCraft actually applies here. Like, you don't want to siege up in precarious locations in StarCraft, and you sure as shit don't want to do it in Heroes of the Storm either. So
I'm still just blown away that it's Sergeant Hammer, which was never in the game, and we had Edmund Duke, who was a tank for the entire campaign.
That's a good point. Where did this come from?
I think they just I think they wanted a tank girl reference, is what I'm assuming.
And we could use some more female characters.
That too.
Yeah. I always just call it siege tank anyway, though, because that's what it is. Right?
Yeah, siege tank.
And since you can't hear her like talking when you're not playing as her. So
honestly, I'm just disappointed that it doesn't have exactly the same sounds as the siege tank in StarCraft. Like I want to hear that voice actor just barking at me the whole time. And if they release like a voice pack for the siege tank and make it sound exactly like the siege tank from StarCraft, I am buying it.
Oh, I would love a Thor announcer pack.
Just so you want Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Exactly. Just doing everything.
Just saying stuff. Okay.
Thor's here.
I'm in.
Good. All right. I'll allow it. So, moving into our strategy section for today, we wanted to talk about the 2 new heroes, and I know we'll probably get one email. Well, you guys haven't talked about all the other heroes in a like point by point way. Well, this is an easy way to start doing that. They're new heroes. At some point,
let's talk about it. We'll probably do a breakdown of heroes. But
yeah, absolutely. So from here on out, if a new hero gets added, we'll probably talk about it in that week's strategy section. So first up, Brightwing, the apparently female fairy dragon from Warcraft, who I could not have been less excited for until I played.
Right, and
I love Brightwing.
You're going to get into every character, and there's going to be some backlash from other games. And Dota sits on Puck. Puck used to be, in the Warcraft 3 mod, just a fairy dragon.
And honestly, in Dota 2, he looks like a fairy dragon. He really doesn't look that much different.
But I think it's more shocking that they went with the high, kind of squeaky, cutesy voice when that was already taken by Puck. Maybe they're going to write a letter to Valve and be like, hey, guys, why don't you get like Christopher Lee to voice him or something? We just can't have this one-to-one going on anymore.
Whatever. It's funny. But yeah, I'm really digging Brightwing a lot, especially as like a support healer type role.
Right. Brightwing marries a lot of what you want in a support hero. It's the instant teleport to be where you need to be, right by your buddies. And it gives you a shield. It gives you an area heal. It gives you a slow. The only thing that really sucks is your auto attack, which you're looking at others maybe doing 250 a shot at higher levels. 68 is about what you hit for with Brightwing.
Is it a tickle stick? That's Brightwing's auto attack. It does not hurt. But Brightwing's spells are so powerful for what they are intended to do. I mean, Polymorph, it doesn't interrupt everything, but I have noticed it does interrupt some things. The funniest thing by far is Diablo's Fire Breath doesn't get interrupted when you're Polymorph. So you see this squirrel just shooting out this massive frontal cone of fire, and it's hysterical.
It doesn't say interrupt, right? It's just it prevents them from doing new things.
Right. But if they're in the middle of something that's channeled, it just continues going, and it's so damn funny to see.
That's pretty funny. Woodland Critter Christmas.
Exactly. Oh God, let's not go down that hole. But yeah, I mean, obviously phase shift, which is the teleporting to any ally hero anywhere on the map as long as they're alive and not a corpse. Is definitely Brightwing's kind of bread and butter. That's kind of what defines her as a hero, and it's just super, super cool.
This is replacing your mount, by the way.
Yeah, you don't have a mount, but I believe she does move a little faster, right?
How long is the cooldown on that?
Phase
Damn
shift?
short.
Yeah, really short.
Yeah, is it like as short as the mount cooldown? Because it's like that's like 5 seconds or whatever, right?
If I were just to take a guess, it's not here on the sheet, but like 15 seconds.
I think it's I think it's 15 seconds. Like for whatever reason, it doesn't show the. We're looking at Heroes Nexus for our info right now. I'm not in the game, otherwise everyone would hear my game noise, so I'm not sure. I believe it's 15 seconds though. It's wicked fast.
That's pretty insane.
Constantly bouncing between lanes when I'm playing Brightwing. It's really really fun stuff. Arcane Flare, one of the other moves. It's this big, kind of slow getting there magic ball that hits and does an area effect splash. It does more damage right in the center, and then it does less damage in the larger overall ring. And you can spec into it later to slow, which is wonderful, because you can also spec into when you polymorph someone for it to slow them. So by the end of the game, you're just this instant teleporting, slowing everything to hell and back, set up the gank machine. It's really fun. Then you got your pixie dust, which is it's like a damage absorbing shield, not quite as like on the nose absorbing damage as Tassadar shields are.
Yeah.
But it increases the movement speed of whoever you cast it on by 25% and blocks up to 2 basic hero attacks, reducing their damage by 50%. Which is just it's nuts, and eventually you can spec into it so it'll do the first spell. So imagine Dills, Mr. Nova here. If you're spec'd into, I forget the talent, but it causes Snipe to do 50% more damage if you snipe while cloaked.
Yeah.
Someone specs into Pixie Dust to work on the first spell that's used. It's pretty much nullifying that talent choice by Nova. It's as if you wasted a talent point.
And there's a lot of heroes that have this where like their initial attack is more powerful than the next ones. So that's actually, even though it's 2 hero attacks, like that's not very much. That's pretty good.
But
I really do applaud the creativity of this ability. It's really easy to be honest, kind of do the WoW thing where it's like, but this heal spell is different because the heal is applied first and then it goes over time. Like, well, really, that's just like a reverse regrowth, but no, never mind. So with this one, it's actually reducing incoming damage. But hey, if they're not even taking damage in the first place, 25% movement speed feels like a lot.
I constantly cast this on the assassins, which for the people who might not know what that is, that's like the high damage characters in Heroes of the Storm are considered assassins. I'm constantly casting it on Zeratul and Illidan when they're pursuing someone, just so they can catch them and get the kill.
Sure. Yeah.
They're absolutely taking no damage. Someone is fleeing from them in fear, and I'm like, okay, cool. Boom, movement speed increase. I almost called her Puck. Right on Cursed Hollow, when everyone's moving all over the place trying to collect the tributes, Brightwing is like indispensable.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, really.
So yeah, she does really help with the ganks for like, especially with this ability right here. It's like you pop up on somebody, and now it's the 2 of you.
You're charging them down.
Yeah, you give 25% to the other person. It's like, we're on you.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't. She's not the one doing the ganking, but she's the one setting it up because she can. Sure. Oh, you're polymorph, now you're slowed. Crap.
Well, not to mention she gets there instantly too. It's like, you found somebody? Okay, I'll be right there.
Literally, boom.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, it's really sweet. Talking about some of the ultimates here, you have the option between Blink Heal and Emerald Wind. Blink Heal, you pop it, and for the next, I believe, why doesn't it say how long this lasts? Because, here it is. For the next 10 seconds, once you activate Blink Heal, for 10 seconds, you get this massive ring around you in distance where you can see who you can click on. Anyone you right click on, on who's friendly, you instantly teleport to them and heal them for a chunk right away, and then an additional 672 health over 3 seconds.
Okay.
And it lasts for 10 seconds. There's a 1 second cooldown or something, so you can't just spam it.
That's that's like a full health bar.
Pretty much.
In a lot of
and you can
cases,
dance around all of your teammates.
Yeah.
This is really, it really shines when you're doing a full team push into your opponent's base towards the end, and all 5 of you are together and close. Like, you just blink, 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 and top off your whole team. It's also really good defensively if everyone's retreating, and you as Brightwing gets slowed or you fall behind, you can pop this just to teleport to one of your teammates who are further ahead, so that you don't get killed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really interesting. I like Blink Heal a lot. Emerald Wind is the other ultimate. Not ultimate. What do they call it in this game? We're all calling them ultimates. I forget what the game actually calls them.
Level 10 abilities. Smash balls.
I think they call them heroic abilities.
Okay, sure.
So your other, it's Emerald Wind, and what it is, it creates what it says here, creates an expanding nova of wind, dealing 100 damage to enemies and pushing them away from the center. So it radiates from where you are as Brightwing. Like, it radiates out from you. It's not something you pick it. You can't cast it in a location. It just happens wherever you're located. So
okay,
it can be good. At the moment, I'm Blink Heal every time without even thinking.
That seems like the one to pick.
I was picking it a lot last night, mainly because this does up to 600 damage at higher levels. So doing that to everyone on the enemy team is a lot. Plus, you can push people forward into your team so that they can get that gank off. And for now, until we have sort of you select your hero, I'll select mine, we do sort of team dynamics, or you're just playing with a group, you're going to have additional heroes. You're probably going to be taking your support a little more damage heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Did we talk? We talked about the Soothing Mist, the heal, right?
No, we skipped that, which is interesting, and it makes me a little sad. But go ahead.
Okay. Is this something you actually activate, or is it just just always happening, right?
Just around Brightwing.
Yeah.
Every 4 seconds.
Just hanging out your Brightwing heals you.
An AoE heal for 32 just pops up.
All right.
Just
That's pretty nice.
Every 4 seconds. You can spec into talents later. One of the talents, I don't know which level it is, but you have the option of 2 things that alter Soothing Mist. One of which has Soothing Mist pop anytime you use any ability, plus its inherent 4 seconds.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, which is really good and passive. Or the other one, you activate it, and for 5 seconds, it's just rapid fire Soothing Mist. It's just like boom, 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 boom for 5 seconds, which I've been using that one because I like to control my abilities. I like activated abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, Kyle. The having a heal, an AoE heal, just happen anytime you do anything that costs mana. It's kind of awesome because chances are that means you're in a battle and people are taking damage.
Exactly, and you're teleporting to where the fights are happening. This is extremely powerful. The reason I'm sad isn't any sort of balance thing. It is the icon they have used and a hero that I want. And they have used the icon, the healing area effect of a obelisk from Warcraft 3. So Obsidian Obelisk, which eventually would turn into the flying obelisk that you see in a lot of World of Warcraft levels, shooting the bolts, doing magic damage. I just want that as a hero.
You just want to be an obelisk.
I just flying around, rolling around, breaking out of your statue and shooting some guys down.
Okay. Well, anyway, so
someday they'll get around to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
either they'll start making inanimate objects heroes, like they'll have a pylon hero.
You require more of me
here, and that's what you do.
A Hearthstone table just kind of hovering its way out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God. Oh, that'd be so great. You require more pylons, but you can only have one on a team.
But this was a real unit. This was built at the, what was it, the meat factory? The slaughterhouse.
I know. It just seems boring to play a rock.
Well, this is a really cool rock, though.
Right?
I'm sorry. So, anyways, Brightwing, really fun. I highly recommend her, even though, damn, it seemed lame to play a fairy dragon.
It did, but you fall in love with her pretty damn quick.
Yeah. Lily, the other hero that was added, seems to be, and Kyle, you said this earlier today when we were talking, like, the go-to starter support character.
Right. Just like they've kind of made Raynor and Muradin sort of your striker and your warrior. Lily is your basic level support with a lot of smart casts.
Yeah, you're not having to really target anything. So going through her first ability, which is a heal, it's called Healing Brew. You can do it every 3 seconds, and it costs like nothing. It's 25 mana. That's like freaking nothing in this game.
And she is a support. One of her first talents is every level you get more mana and more regen, so you're not even running out of mana.
Yeah, absolutely. So what this does is for 25 mana, you toss a cup of brew, and it auto-targets the lowest health ally within range. And it prioritizes heroes over minions, so you don't need to worry about that.
Brain dead healing right here. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty much like, if you're playing Lily, you're just spamming the Q. Just like all the time, because it's 25. Who cares? 25 mana. Who gives a crap? It's always going to land where it needs to go. Like, it just.
And you can spec into it
job.
later where it heals you and the person it hits. So you take a little sip out of that cup before you throw it to someone. Kind of gross.
Yeah.
One for me and one for my homies. Cloud Serpent's next ability. This is something you do have to, target someone with, but summons a Cloud Serpent on her target, and it has to be an ally. And what the Cloud Serpent does is just starts attacking nearby enemies. It's really cool. You get this little Cloud Serpent that starts.
Yes.
Yeah, little Cloud Serpent just shows up by you and starts chewing on the bad guys. It's nice. Blinding Wind. She throws a cloud of blinding wind at the 3 nearest enemy heroes, dealing 508 damage. And minions will be hit if there are not enough heroes in range. And the targets are also blinded, missing their next basic attack. And the blind debuff lasts for 4 seconds. This is also smart cast. It just finds the 3 closest enemy targets.
Well, and that was a maximum you said there. That's a little frightening to say 580 damage, because you're thinking opening level, that's like a fourth of Diablo's.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Opening. Yeah,
you're doing
maximum.
150. It's pretty damn small. It's a pinprick, but you're really just going for the misses here, the blinding effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's maddening. I played against the Lily today, and I'm just like, God, I can't hit things.
Well, it's maddening that she gives, sort of a sand attack in your eyes.
Yeah.
But on top of that, fast feet, whenever she gets hit, she runs 20% faster. So she's healing herself, throwing cups everywhere, blinding you, and then gets out even if you succeed in hitting her.
Yeah. Fast feet's her passive combat trait. Every time she's hit, she gets a 20% movement speed increase, which, she's just all over the place. And the whole time, she's just throwing booze, which I don't know what Blizzard's trying to say about little children serving alcohol, but
I think that's why they did cups instead of mugs. It seems like
I feel like it's like a green tea.
Oh, okay. All right, because Pandaren, all they're doing is making beer the entire time.
It's like a green matcha tea is what's
I was thinking the
going
green
on
tea
here.
because that's what you drank to get mana back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just remember following her and Shen around and making freaking beer.
If we want to complain about, something weird about her, she looks like ET a little bit, and it weirds me out.
I think she's kind of got a creepy character model. I'm not going to lie. She looks not right.
Granted, she's one of our first actually, moving face when they talk characters, and she may not have that touch of refinement we need on top of that.
Possibly. So to talk about her heroic abilities, your options are Jug of 1,000 Cups or Water Dragon. The Jug of 1,000 Cups. I'm hearing weird noises off to my left. It rapidly tosses brew to the most injured nearby allies, prioritizing heroes over minions. It restores a total of maximum of 2,520 health and 600 mana over 6 seconds. And it will not target Lily. She does not get to heal and mana up herself with this ability.
But if she does die during this, the spell does persist.
Yeah, it just keeps going. The other option is Water Dragon, which summons a Water Dragon that charges an attack for 3 seconds, then does a big burst of damage to the nearest enemy hero. And then enemies near that target take half of the damage.
Okay.
It looks great. This is a really cool ability.
Yeah, it's really sweet looking. So let's see. Yeah, everything on here except
there's nothing targeted, right?
Cloud Serpent is targeted.
Okay, all right.
Everything
and Water
else
Dragon, but you're doing area effect damage.
Sure, you target an area with that, right? So yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So definitely kind of an easy mode hero, but it's pretty well balanced for that. When you throw out your very first healing brew, you are not doing the kind of heals that Malfurion's putting out.
No, not at all. But you're also using less mana, so it's good.
Right, and same for Brightwing. Like, sure, you have global presence. Right now, I think the health may be a little big. Also, people just don't know what to deal with her yet, so could be. But it's so cool to see the way they're balancing these things, like Abathur, taking away all his combat.
I like having heroes in the game that are easy to play, and then also ones that are really complex. I think that's something that they're going to need to continue doing, because if you come into a game, you never played a MOBA, and you come in here, it's like, this kind of character is going to get you to stick around, and then maybe learn all the the little ins and outs later on, and then you got your Abathurs for your advanced users. So this is good. I'm glad they got a character like this.
And it's really cool that they released these two in tandem, because Brightwing is definitely an advanced character.
Yeah.
Lily, much, much easier.
Teleporting around the map and all that kind of stuff is generally for people who understand what's going on around the map. Where here it's like, hey, just make sure that my lane never dies,
And Lily's a great sort of best friend here. Like, I'm gonna pick my guy. I'm gonna go for all damage. Just follow me and we'll do okay.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I guess that wraps up our talk about the two new heroes. I do like that they're both support. Like, that was cool, especially if you hadn't really dabbled in them yet. This is a good week to kind of try them out, and like you said, the difference in difficulty between the two.
So. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying them. Have not tried them yet, so
try them tonight. Well,
okay.
maybe if they're in the rotation. I don't think they are. But you've got a bunch of gold. I guess you could just buy. I don't know. Anyways, let's take some emails before we end the show. You can send your emails to itncast@gmail.com. Our first email today comes to us from Rob. It says, "Hey guys, I really enjoyed the first show and I'm looking forward to more. But I was wondering if on the next show you could back things up a little bit. To be honest, all I really know about this game is it's Blizzard, so I'm in. Maybe it won't turn out to be for me in the end, but Blizzard hasn't let me down yet. I love the campaign modes for StarCraft, but I've never played a MOBA or Dota or know the difference between the two, if any. So I really don't know what you are referencing when you say things like lane, as one example." Okay, Rob. Well,
that's really breaking it down.
StarCraft has nothing to do with MOBAs, number one.
Well, if you want to use StarCraft campaign as an example, just think of the level where you have to defend your base for X amount of time. Then make it versus. So your base is putting out creeps, their base is putting out creeps, and they are meeting in the middle, and that pushes back and forth in a sort of tug of war.
That's not a terrible way to put it. Or if you played any of Heart of the Swarm. You know how you were controlling Kerrigan and she was broken? Imagine a whole team of 5 of those.
There you go. But yeah, so like when you don't know what like lanes are, then it's like you're really you gotta probably do some research. Because if we sit here and we just talk about everything, like we're gonna go on and on forever, right?
Right.
Like it's just not what we can really do on we're not a tutorial necessarily. And we had this same discussion on The Angry Chicken when the game first came out, and nobody had it.
People wanted us to stop what we were talking about every time a card was mentioned and read the card.
And that's difficult for us. Like I don't think Rob is wrong for wanting that information.
No, but no. It makes for really disjointed, bad audio.
Trust me, it's not going to be interesting for us to do like 20-minute segment on like everything in the game. Like it's just not gonna. It's not going to be fun to listen to.
But much like I broke down last hitting early on, we'll try to keep that in mind. I know, listening to Angry Chicken, you guys started using RGN a lot, and that confused me.
RNG.
Well, red, blue, green, whatever.
Well, RNG.
RBG, too much RBG going on here. Yeah.
Well, RNG has existed in WoW since the beginning, so apparently you just haven't been keeping up.
I just don't like to hyphenate everything.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll try it. Well, definitely anytime we're using terminology like meta, micro, macro, although I guess macro doesn't really exist in these type of games.
It does. I mean, because there's like the overall strategy of your team.
That would be meta.
No, but if I do a different comp this time, like that kind of is the macro. Or like our plan for this map is to ignore the first golem or whatever. I mean, that is the macro of the, because that's everything. Macro really just is everything outside of controlling one thing. That's all that really is. So you could call it meta, but meta is really like the whole game, all the people playing it.
Yeah, I would just say that's a strategy. I mean, we're talking about like from StarCraft where macro means something very specific.
Well, I think you should look up what macro means because it's the same thing. Like when you do it in StarCraft, it's the same thing. You're controlling like all the aspects. That's macro.
Okay.
And then I control one thing. That's micro. That's all that means. That's all that means. And it's very specifically used in StarCraft. Sure,
for
but
unit production.
yeah, unit production. But in this game, it would be like your macro would be like, as a team, we're deciding to do this. Like, I want you to grab bribes. That is the macro. Like, that is the whole overarching game. So it's just a different application of the same word.
Okay.
The number of times we had to define that on StarCast, because I can see why Garrett's like eyes twitching.
Well, I mean, but like that word is very specific in StarCraft. Yes. I understand that there's those are like the two things of the game. There's like this and there's this, and you could do that in like this game too. You can do that in any game really. Like when I'm playing Battleground in WoW, I could say that I'm microing my character really well because I'm not dying to this one guy, but our team is like leaving stables when it's going to lose stables like that. We're not macroing as a team very well. Like, I understand like that you don't want it to be used in a different way.
Well, I'm just saying that like no one actually says that in that game, and it's not a coined phrase.
But it still could apply. So,
sure.
if you it could apply anything to the game.
So everyone, if you take anything away from this in your next Battleground in WoW, use the term macro and
don't use the term. Everybody go out there and use it. But if
guys, the macro for this game.
If someone says it, they're not wrong. If they know what macro means, like they're not wrong.
This is coming from the guy who really, really wants to use those acronyms. One might say random, just the whole word, or one might say global awareness. Your global awareness is crappy.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, remind me, Kyle, what do the diehards refer to Dota as? Because you run into the people who are like, Dota's not a MOBA.
Oh, yeah? I can't help you out there.
I don't remember what it's. Yeah, there's a specific term that the real diehard fans refer to it as, and I honestly don't remember because MOBA has kind of just taken over that entire space. Like if you have 5 heroes controlled by one person each versus another 5 heroes that are controlled by one person each, and then you have lanes and creeps. Just call it a MOBA, please. Yeah. Can we just simplify it?
A multiplayer online battle arena.
There you go. Done.
Exactly. How is that not that? That's exactly what that is.
It's multiplayer, it's online, and it's an arena at which you battle.
We're battling in an arena, right? Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're good? Okay. All right, we're good. So, yeah, I mean, like Dill said, kind of hard to explain on such a philosophical level. Yeah, they were born of Warcraft, which was an RTS, and people took, unit by unit and turned it into a single hero that you could control.
Yeah. But, I mean, essentially what you're doing is you're battling for territory with the overarching goal of killing the other team's home base. And that's pretty much it.
Yep.
So if you start there, then everything else is just how to get that done and what obstacles are in the way of getting that done. So, I mean, I recommend, Rob, just do some reading on your own and try. If it's a game you're interested in, you're not going to get all your information from one source. You're going to have to go to multiple places. So we're a good place to start, but it's gonna be beneficial to you if you're planning to play this game, which is what I had to do too when I started playing Dota with you guys, was figure the hell out everything was. Like I was just like, I don't know what this is. And the one time Kyle told me where the secret shop wasn't enough. I had to then also go back and Google it later when I played again,
But wait, it's like mirrored on the other side, but then there's this other side secret shop. There's also technically a secret shop, but then there's a shop by the fountain that's not a secret.
Yeah. So it's going to take more than one source of information to get it all, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully we helped a little bit. And lanes, I mean, they're exactly that. They're literally lanes. And traditionally, there's a top, middle, and bottom one in old school MOBAs like Dota. The interesting thing about Heroes of the Storm is that there's multiple different maps. Some have 2 lanes, some have 3 lanes, some have like Blackheart's Bay. There are kind of 3 lanes, but everything is so interweaved and open, it really kind of looks like just one big map.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't feel like
it's
lane.
It's not as defined, but you still
define it. Though,
the creep
really.
waves. Yeah, the creep waves are what define it.
Well, let's be fair here. There's really only the first 5 minutes of the game, and then the turn-in arena.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, Blackheart's Bay.
Yeah.
What an interesting.
And every now and then, pairing off to go kill a golem or something. But yeah. You're pretty much fighting over doubloons. That's pretty much it.
Rabbit.com in the chat room, I think, boiled it down to its essence. Lanes are where the creeps go. Creeps are the guys that aren't us.
Yeah.
If you don't know what creeps are.
The only reason to split up into all the lanes and everything traditionally is just to make sure that you're gathering all the possible experience that the game is providing, right? I mean,
and to push their towers while simultaneously defending yours.
But I mean, if the creeps didn't really matter, you would just all go one tower. Like, okay, all of us go to this tower first. Okay, we killed that tower. Like, if all that stuff didn't matter, so saying where the creeps go, all right, that's a lane.
That's a lane, more or less. You want to take the next email, Dills?
Sure. This is from Jealousy. Okay, hey Jealousy.
Strange name.
I don't think it's such a bad name for right now, man. There's a lot of people that want this game.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even think about
that. Okay. Okay. Dear Nexus crew, firstly, thank you for providing yet more entertainment for my commute to work. Secondly, a quick question. Are there any particular characters that give you more time to think and plan your moves, i.e. more tactical and considered rather than twitchy and frenetic? Yeah, Abathur. That would be one, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty damn twitchy.
Yeah? Okay.
You got to have that global awareness and jump on the people who need it with your shield. Second, you're done with that person helping them out. You got to get out of there, lay down your 3 mines that stacked up while you're busy, and then pick the next person.
But you would be more often than not kind of clicking around to places on the map where you aren't, right? So even though your reactions have to be really quick, you
wouldn't be concerned about your personal being.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah, it's twitchy in a non-traditional sense of the word as it pertains to games.
I is a little bit too, just because I can't really be in the front lines, so I have to kind of be towards the back and be kind of trying to find the guy who is going to be low soon that I can finish off. So
I would say that too, though, but because if they run out of your range, I mean, we need you to triple tap that guy who's running away in the back. I would say someone like Hammer, where you're kind of you set up, you build a little base, you set up the mines in front of you. It's a bit more calm.
I was going to suggest Sergeant Hammer, Siege Tank. I mean, the flavor of the damn Siege Tank is rooting yourself and not being able to move.
Yeah.
Now, clearly, what makes you good is knowing when to unsiege and move and then re-siege, but it's still, it's a little more calculated. You're like Kyle said.
I think the more calculated stuff is going to be what your team does together, not necessarily what you as an individual do. There's going to be things like, okay, you stun everybody, then we all blow our ultis at the same time, type of stuff. That's a little more planned out. But just the single character is not really going to be. I don't think you're going to find a character that's totally just like this. Where you're I'm going to sit here and wait, and then I'm going to get you. Everybody kind of feels a little twitchy to me.
Most certainly. I would agree. And Blizzard's added a lot of skill shots into the game on top of something. I mean, you can have a Dota hero who has no skill shots at all. So I feel like Zagara might be this, though, because she has the creep to lay down. She has the summon the Banelings, summon Hydralisks. You may very well just be kind of doing some base management, kind of making this pretty over here. Oh, I'm going to instantly spawn some mercenary style things to push, and maybe not actually engaging in a situation that might be dangerous if you were to misclick.
Sure.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Zagara looks so cool, by the way. I cannot wait to try her.
Oh, coming from StarCraft to being we want to spread creep.
Yep. all creep all the time. It's good. So, anyways, thank you guys for your emails again. Send them to itncast@gmail.com. I think that'll do it for today's episode. Thanks to those of you who are leaving us reviews in the iTunes store if you're an iTunes listener. It's a new show, and that helps us out so damn much. So thank you guys so much, and keep them coming if you're enjoying what we're doing. This week I wanted to thank Rad Mobile, who said this show lacks Canadians.
Well, only this week, right? I mean, well, you guys have just reintegrated, so welcome back to America.
That's true. I was Canadian briefly, but I'm now American again. America.
And no comment. Also, thank you to JM Kaiser, Debunster, Just Me Pro, and Dark Sub. Thank you guys very much for your reviews. Really, really appreciate it. As always, Into the Nexus is a production of amove.tv, where you can see this and all kinds of other gaming shows like AMove Radio and The Angry Chicken and Gamers In, etc. over on amove.tv. Check out the forums at forum.amove.tv. Catch us live every Thursday night. We record at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on twitch.tv/amovetv. Make sure to follow the channel if you're not already. And we will be up on the mobile live stream very soon. Got a new computer, still trying to get everything working, but that will be provided by Alpha Geek Radio, which you can get by going to mobile.alphageekradio.com. Our Twitter is at ITNcast. I can be found at Garrett Art. Dills is at Willie Dills, and Kyle is at Kyle Ferguson. We've got intro music this week, which was done by Mr. Brian Griffith. Want to thank him very much. His website is briangriffithmusic.com. And you can see my graphic design portfolio at nomoonart.com. So go check that out. Dills, where can people find you when you're not, being sucked into the Nexus?
They can find me talking about cards on The Angry Chicken, find me talking about WoW on The Instance, talking about baseball and Torchcast, and, of course, playing golf terribly. Although, I just purchased a new driver, and my balls now have rockets on them. So, looking forward to my next time at the golf course.
Little red and gold balls that look like Iron Man suits. They just rocket off. Just Stark Industries. Nice. Mm-hmm.
They shoot lasers, all that. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful! As a golf ball, it shoots the balls of the guys you're playing with, so they have to, swing, again.
You clearly understand golf, Garrett.
Right?
You just dropped some golf knowledge bombs on all of us there.
Well, if there's
laser
lasers,
guided, so you constantly have to have someone with a smoke machine so you can even see what's going on.
I haven't played golf since I was like 11. Kyle, I
think that was miniature golf.
No, it was real golf, and it was the worst summer thing my parents ever signed me up for. Kyle, what about you? Where can you be found?
Well, you can also find me on AMove Radio that records every Monday on this very channel at 7 p.m. Eastern.
That'd be 8 p.m.
Well, then Chicago time. That's when I sit down. You can also follow Biggest Fan Podcast. We followed the Fad That's Drive You Mad, and for some reason, we finally got around to doing Indiana Jones this past week, which was a delight. We're going to be taking a brief hiatus there, 2 weeks, and then we're going to come back. Well, it's about X-Men time then, which I'm getting pretty damn excited for that. They're pumping out a new trailer every other week.
I really hope it's good.
Yeah, me too.
It looks good. I'm hoping for it, man.
They've kind of got the whole story centered on Wolverine, and Hugh Jackman is Wolverine at this point. He's really carrying that, so I'm happy. Okay. Have you seen the picture of him, by the way, like how ripped he was in the very first one?
How is he getting more ripped as time
I don't know.
goes
He's
on?
getting older, too. Like 10 years older.
There's a few people that are like this, like The Rock, like just continues to get bigger and bigger. And you're like, dude, you were already big, man. Like, what is going on here? And Hugh Jackman is joining that club. He's just insane.
I don't know, man. Him and Gerard Butler just hanging out. Just like, what's up? Hey, you look like you're chewing a sandwich when you talk. Huh. Nice.
To be fair, Gerard Butler was airbrushed to hell.
True.
They painted some of those abs on.
Yeah. Anyways, check out our sponsors, doghousesystems.com. Our code is No, that's for the Angry Chicken. Our code is ITN.
You can use that one too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We're podcast agnostic here, but use the code ITN. It'll get you double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig. Check out the new special edition rigs as well. We'll probably be getting into the Nexus one up there pretty soon, but for the moment, you can get an Angry Chicken one. And also check out tweakedaudio.com, where that same code, ITN, will get you 30% off and free shipping off of your entire order of noise-reducing earbuds from Tweaked Audio, which we've already had people using the codes, and the show's been out for a week, so thank you guys so much. That's awesome. Yeah, it's really good. Every time one of those codes are used, it directly supports the show.
I mean, just in total, the launch of the show has been a surprise and a delight. And thank you, everyone, for making this incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit number 1 on the iTunes under video games. It's pretty cool.
Hell yeah, we did.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good stuff. So, anyways, thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week with episode 3. Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come join the live show. Mess with us in the chat room. It's a good time. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week.
Take care.
Later.